Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Donnie Do-Right, and I was denied testing and treatment for the coronavirus because I'm gay. No, literally, the doctor told me it was because I was gay. Well, it's been about a month of me dealing with this, and I'm about to tell y'all the entire story from top to bottom and let y'all be the judge of what happened to me. However, I know exactly what happened to me. It's been about a month of me recovering from this, and let me tell you something, I couldn't come to y'all unless I glued down this wig and get myself together because I was looking crazy. The virus ravaged my life. But let me just take it back a little bit so y'all know exactly what happened, so you know what I told the doctor, the symptoms that I've had, and what has happened since now what I think is recovery from the virus. So about a month ago, I decided that I was going to go on a vacation. And I am a world traveler, one paid vacation at a time, child. So I took my sister on a birthday cruise. And before this cruise, I decided I was going to take every mode of transportation and I was going to extend my trip for about a week and a half. I took a Greyhound bus to Philly. I flew from Philly to Florida. We took a train from Fort Lauderdale to West Palm Beach. We took a cruise to and from the Bahamas. From then, I flew to Cuba. I spent about a week in Cuba. And then from Cuba, I flew to Houston. Now, I'm in Cuba getting my life. I'm in the Bahamas getting my life. I'm having the best time of my life. My sister's having a great time for her birthday. My solo trip in Cuba, baby. They thought I was a local, okay? The waves had them thinking. The milky skin had them thinking. Yo soy cubano, okay? So I'm down in Cuba. I'm having a good time. But on my last night in Cuba, I went out with some locals and I drank water that wasn't bottled. About the second day that I flew to Houston, because I left Cuba and went straight to Houston, the second day I was in in Houston, my stomach wasn't really feeling well. But I'm thinking it's because I'm in the Bahamas eating all types of food, and I'm drinking fish eating fish that came fresh out the water. It tastes like they literally grabbed them by the neck from out there, threw them on the grill and threw it on a plate. And I'm down in Cuba eating all types of food, drinking all types of stuff. I'm thinking that my stomach is just trying to get acclimated back to being in the US. So I get back to New York after my week and a half vacation, and I'm just not feeling well, right? I'm starting to get headaches. My stomach is hurting. I'm constipated, and then I start getting diarrhea. I got headaches, diarrhea for like 2 or 3 days back to back. I'm starting to sweat. I'm having night sweats, like literally waking up and my entire bed is covered in water. And I'm thinking to myself, well, baby girl, you are not that old to be not running to the bathroom. Get up and go to the bathroom. But it wasn't that I was peeing on myself. I literally was having night sweats. And then the sore throat. I don't know if y'all have ever had strep throat, but it is comparable to strep throat. The pain was unbearable. I didn't get a cough yet. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I probably just have a cold. I'm not thinking it's the coronavirus, mostly because at that time, no black people had it. And I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those people that believe like black people just didn't get coronavirus because there were no documentation of it. We had heard of one South African, but it wasn't a black South African. So I'm thinking to myself, baby girl, the virus ain't for us the same way we only get sickle cell. I'm thinking it ain't for us. So now I'm trying to get through my days and I'm getting more and more fatigued. I'm going to work. But I'm coming home at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm passing out, and I'm not moving. I'm literally going to bed at 4:30, not eating dinner, waking up the next day to go to work. 6:30 in the morning, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't get off the couch. Or I'm in the bed, and I didn't even do anything. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is starting to get pretty serious. And then the cough starts happening. I'm starting to cough, and I'm starting to get mucus. And I mean lots of mucus, to the point where I'm having a cup of like something to spit into my cup at night so I can get the mucus out. Every time I breathe too hard, I would start coughing and then the mucus would come. And then the cough started hurting. By this time, this is about 5 or 6 days consecutively of me experiencing all these symptoms. And I'm on WebMD, which is the work of the devil. Don't go on WebMD, baby. I'm thinking my bunion is cancerous. I'm thinking my kidney stone is, I'm like, baby girl, WebMD will have you thinking that you are finna die if you sneeze too hard. So I'm like to myself, baby girl, stay up to WebMD and it's time to go to the doctor. I call my primary care doctor. She's booked for the month. I can't get with her. So I go to the next best thing, urgent care, which is in Midtown where I work, which is necessarily an affluent area. So I go to this particular urgent care and I'm telling her the same thing I'm telling y'all. I took every mode of transportation. I did this. All of the things that I'm telling her I did. My cough hurts, everything. I'm telling her I got diarrhea, everything. So I'm telling this lady this and she looked me dead in the face and she goes, okay, if you mind me asking, what's your sexual preference? And I'm like, well, I don't really understand how that's important at this particular juncture, but I don't live in that lie, so I'm gonna tell her, I'm like, yeah, I'm gay. She's like, oh, well, your symptoms could be very much aligned with some other viruses. And I was like, excuse me? Now, let me also preface this and just say, I know a lot of y'all be like, well, if somebody says something to me, I'm gonna be rah, rah, rah. But in that moment, like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm tired. I just need somebody to fix me. I ain't got time to be arguing with this lady back and forth. I go, but I answer her and I said, oh, no, baby. What kind of virus are you speaking of? She was like, well, there's several viruses that you can have. Usual men who sleep with men contract other viruses like hepatitis, herpes, all these other things. She goes, HIV. And I'm like, well, actually, I'm on PrEP. I've been on PrEP for about a couple years. She goes, oh, when was the last time you had your blood work done? And I'm like, it's been quite a few months. She said, have you had sex while you were away? I'm like, what kind of sex you talking about? She was like, any penetration? I'm like, no, I haven't had penetration. But I did suck some meat off the bone. Baby, when I was in Cuba, I did suck some meat off some bone. She was like, oh, well, that might explain the strep throat. You know, you can have gonorrhea of the throat. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So I might have gonorrhea of the throat. And then she's telling me, oh, and if you've been on PrEP for some time and haven't had your blood work done, your body may not be reacting to the PrEP like you should, and you might have contracted HIV. And I'm like, well, damn, I'm just having nice West mucus, and now I'm walking out of here with hepatitis, HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, everything. Girl, can you just test me? So I said, I was a little taken aback. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I have to say, as a black gay person, sometimes it's really difficult to have this conversation about HIV, right? Because for a very long time, when you come out, it's not about them warning you about how men can be terrible, how they could cheat on you, how they lie, how to be safe in relationships. It's always the don't get sick conversation. It's always don't get HIV, make sure you protect yourself. It's always that conversation, but it's never the other stuff. So now I got this doctor in front of me telling me that the drug that I'm taking every day may not have worked, that I might have contracted gonorrhea of the throat or HIV, and that could be the reason why I'm having these symptoms. So I say to her, okay. She said, I'm going to test you for everything. I said, well, can I also be tested for COVID? She goes, we don't test for that. I'm like, well, you should have led with that versus telling me I got HIV and syphilis, girl. Like, you should have just said, oh, we don't test for that, but I could test you for other treatment, other things. So she tested me for the flu. She tested me for syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, all that shit. Then she freaks me and tell me, oh, I need to get a sample. And I'm like, what kind of sample? After she took all the other samples, she goes, I need you to get a stool sample. Have y'all ever done a stool sample? Baby, it is the one of the worst things I think I've ever experienced in my life. It is so disgusting. Baby girl made me poo in a bucket and then scoop it like Edie's. I was in there like Baskin Robbins in it. It was disgusting. I never want to do that again. It needs to be banned. I thought I was going to give her a little bend and have her do her little thing, you know, because she got the gloves and that's her specialty. I'm finna scoop my own poo. Baby, it was gross. But one thing that was really alarming to me is after all of that, after she did the testing, I tell her, she knows all my symptoms, I tell her the sore throat, everything. She sends me home. No treatment for syphilis, no treatment for gonorrhea or chlamydia, nothing. Which could have been treated that day. She could have given me a shot, she could have given me a pill, nothing. She tells me, I don't want to give you any antibiotics because it might interfere with corona if you do have it. So you think I got it now too? HIV, syphilis, chlamydia of the throat, and the Rona. Are you serious? And she sends me home with nothing. So now I'm going home to become cat child to my damn cats. I would have died in my damn house and my cats would have ate this beautiful brown skin because I didn't feed them. So now I'm home suffering. It's been another 4 or 5 days of me suffering. I'm calling. I'm like, do you have the results? Do you have the results? Girl sent me an email, said, just check the portal, child. Check this portal. You ain't even got to call no more. Just check the portal. I'm checking the portal. No results. Now it's been about 4 or 5 days or 6 days since I got tested. And usually if you're positive for something, it comes back quicker than that. So finally on like a Sunday, it comes back in that everything was negative. No gonorrhea, no chlamydia, no syphilis, no HIV, nothing. So now I call, I'm like, I'm not getting any better. This is actually like nothing is changing. I'm still lethargic. I still can't really eat. I still have diarrhea off and on. Like, what is going on? Well, if you have COVID, you just need to quarantine for 2 weeks. And if you can't breathe, then you call the EMS. Okay, so now I've been going to work because, again, I don't know what this is and I couldn't afford to take off from work. So I'm going back and forth to work and I don't know what else to do. So finally I just take the days off. And luckily for me, well, not luckily, but the city shuts down and now we're all home, working from home or furloughed or unemployed. So it's just been a weird turn of events. So after about 2 weeks of finally starting to feel better, like I'm starting to come to back into my zhuzh, I'm starting to feel my energy, I'm starting to feel great, I'm starting to feel like myself again, all of a sudden my eye starts burning. I'm like, my eye's just itching and itching and itching. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with my eye? Why did I get conjunctivitis in the eye? Baby girl, the symptom of my body just finally getting rid of this virus shows up in my eye. I'm giving the girls left eye moments. I got the mask on outside with the glasses on because it looked like somebody done beat me all up in the eye. I can't see. I'm giving a la left eye Grammy Awards, a la Slick Rick. I'm giving the girls what, like I'm reading the letters on the damn optometry chart. It's been a whirlwind. And if you don't know, I'm a Leo and I'm pretty vain. I'm pretty vain. I'm not gonna lie. So like having to look crazy, my skin started breaking out. I got the left eye. But to be honest with y'all, sorry, my camera turned off. I think for me, what really makes me crazy about all of this is like, you know, I'm excited to still be here. I'm excited to be alive. I'm happy that my immune system was able to fight it off, that I'm still able to sit here and talk and joke with y'all, even though this situation is very crazy. I think in New York City, we have almost 15,000 deaths. A few of those are coworkers of mine, people that I know personally. So like for me, I am very grateful to still be here. But what upsets me about all of this whole situation is a couple things. One, being reduced to my sexuality in a doctor's office when I'm supposed to be around, when I'm talking to somebody I should be able to trust. And they're reducing me, whether they know me or not, even if I've given you the knowledge about me actually having a healthy sexual history, me telling you that I've taken precautions to make sure that I'm healthy sexually, you still reduce me to just being just another homo, having sex everywhere, being promiscuous, and that's probably why my throat is sore or I'm not feeling well. You know, that is really upsetting to me. And I'm in a city where I have mobility to have these kind of dialogues. And since this conversation I've had with this doctor, I've called 311, it's been reported. And baby girl, I'm not going to tell y'all I'm Olivia Pope, but baby, when I went there, it was open, but now they're closed. It's been handled. I'm not going to say it was me, but I'm not going to say it wasn't. Okay? But no, in all seriousness, it's kind of crazy that all of this is going on and Black people are now the new face of the virus. It's absolutely insane to me. It went from people only in Europe and Asia and no Black faces to now we're being disproportionately traumatized by this virus. I grew up in the South Bronx. I grew up near Hunts Point. And in that area, we got Asthma Alley, baby. The Bronx has the worst asthma cases in the US, if I'm not mistaken, if not in New York City. And I say that to say it's now hitting the Bronx terribly. My family lives here. I went to visit my mother before I knew I had corona. I put my whole family in jeopardy because I went to the doctor and I was reduced to what I was reduced to and then sent home to wallow. And of course my mother is not gonna just let me sit home and not try to bring me soups and things like that because I'm her kid. She wants to make sure I'm good. But I'm rejecting her and things from people because I'm scared that I'm gonna kill them. Like, this is crazy. New York City is trying to do the best that they can with managing this, but overall as a nation, this has been disgusting. It's been a disgusting, it's been egregious. And I don't know what's gonna happen after all of this, but I do think that there's gonna have to be some major overhaul. It's been absolutely devastatingly traumatizing for all of us, and I don't really know where else to go with this. I do know for myself, like I said, being in a big city like New York, I have the ability to talk to legislators and email people and try my best to be in the forefront when I feel better, of course, now that I do, to try to make things happen. And I know people in the smallest towns don't have that. I know they don't have the ability to get clinics closed down or have clinics investigated because that might be the only clinic in their neighborhood. Planned Parenthood is spread straight through the South, but they're spread so far apart. You have to have gas and cars to get to them. It's like, it's just ridiculous. The messaging behind all of this, behind the coronavirus, has been disgusting. I don't know what to do. And what makes this even crazier is I still have not been tested. I still don't know if I have a positive coronavirus result. And I don't know if I'm asymptomatic now. I don't know if I'm still shedding. I don't know if I can still give it to people. I don't know if I can get it again. There's not enough information out there. It's not enough information out there, and that shit is scary. I don't want to have to sit around this house for 19 years and still think that I might be giving somebody something. That joint is not cute. That's not cute at all. But I am. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to go out only when I need to and wear my mask when I can, and if I remember to bring it outside, which I usually do. But it's just kind of scary that we don't know what is going on. I think for me, sharing my story with you guys, I guess puts a familiar face, especially the people that subscribe to me, who feel like they know someone who's experienced discrimination due to my skin color, due to my sexual preference. Like, I literally was discriminated against because I'm gay. She looked at me and reduced me to me being gay, and that's all that was. I can't have anything else. Girl, you got AIDS. You got HIV. Oh, you suck some D? You got coronavirus in the throat on top of syphilis and herpes. You probably got some herpes bumps on your vocal cords, child. That's exactly what she told me. I don't know. I just really needed to share this story. One, because now I feel good. I feel good enough to share it. Like I said, I was feeling terrible for the last month. My eye was giving you eye jammies. But I wanted y'all to know that there are people who are really experiencing these things. This gives you a real face-to-face approach. Like, I'm letting you know that this really happened to me. And I hope it's not happening to you. I hope you have a brave face and that in the front of adversity when this is happening to you. And I want y'all to be safe. Be safe as you can. Protect yourself, protect your family. And while we out here, in the comments section, leave some links to things that you've been doing to keep yourself busy and active. Some Hulu watches. I just finished watching Little Fires Everywhere. If you haven't seen that show, watch that. Girl, you're going to be off your feet, especially by the last episode, honey. I was ready to slap fire out my whole TV, knock it clean off the wall. Leave some links to the things that you're doing. If you have some special fitness Zoom classes that you go to, link those down below. Let us know what you're doing so that way we can quarantine and be safe and still be kind of together in some ways. This is my story with coronavirus. I feel great. I am a little scared. I haven't booked another flight. I literally canceled almost every trip I booked for the rest of the year. And if you know me, I travel a lot. But I'm actually petrified. I don't want anything to happen to my family. I'm sure y'all don't want anything to happen to yours either. But I hope you guys are being safe. Thank you for watching my video. And please, 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 please protect yourself. If you feel sick, try your best to reach out to your doctors. I know I told y'all about a doctor that wasn't good for me in my experience, but that doesn't mean that you don't have great doctors in your area. Because I actually got a chance to talk to my primary physician. And even over the phone after I told my symptoms, she was like, oh no, baby, you had corona. Just stay home. When we have more information, I'll call you and we'll see what we need to do. I think they're going to try to test my blood and see if there's any antibodies that they can use. And that's another thing, you know, black people always, we always at the forefront of healthcare. They use us as guinea pigs. But then when it comes to actually treating us, we got black women dying at an astronomical rate during childbirth. I could go on a soapbox tangent. I'm not going to do that to y'all. But baby, black people, when it comes to healthcare, we're never first priority. We're first priority when they want to run tests and use our blood. Henrietta Locke, if you don't know her, Oprah played her daughter. Y'all better watch that movie or read the books. This is Donnie Do-Right. I love y'all for watching. I am back to normal, at least as back to normal as I think I can be. And I'm here, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm glad that you are still here with us, too. Love, hugs, and kisses. Follow me on all social media, Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Donnie Do, over and out. COVID survivors. Let's go, COVID survivors. If you're a COVID survivor, leave that in the description box too, baby. I'm a survivor. I ain't gonna give up. Now that you're out of my life, I'm so much better. Thought that I'd be weak without you. Now I'm stronger. Survivor.